Hi, this is Luigi. We wanted to let you know that we had some minor alignment issues with this episode, but it's 95% good. So enjoy.
Hi, welcome to the F1 Time Portal, a Formula One history podcast by a couple of friends that love Formula One. I'm your host, Rosa.
And I'm your whole lot of love host, Luigi. And today we are rating drivers from 1969 for our special series at Time Portal Championship. And this is part 2, and we're going to wrap it up. So let's go.
A whole lot of love.
Well, we love Formula One, right?
That's very good. I like it. I like the tone.
I found a connection.
Yes.
And we still got Richard too. We still got Richard with us.
Back.
Luigi
Hello,
broke out the lead.
Yeah.
Yes.
took the lead out. Is that what we say?
I think that's it, yes.
Don't know.
That makes it sound like a good drug, but it's not really a good drug. It's a bad drug.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if I should have said it, but yeah, I said it now. I can't take it back. All right, where are we up to?
So we're up to race 7, the German Grand Prix. So going to take us
Yes,
in.
I will take you through a bit of a summary. X set his first pole position of the year ahead of Stewart and Rindt. X made a good start, but soon fell back to 4th place. He then made an inspired recovery to 2nd place. He closed up to Stewart and the leading pair went nose to tail for 2 full laps. X made a heroic pass under braking, but locked up and Stewart held on. On lap 6, X took the lead firmly and quickly set a lap record. He eventually took the win with a minute advantage over the championship leader Stewart. Bruce McLaren and Graham Hill finished 3rd and 4th respectively.
Yeah, big race
That's a
this
big one.
So Rich, what's your picks? Yeah.
Okay, straight on to me. In 3rd, I've put Jochen Rindt. He qualified 3rd and dropped out of the race with mechanical issues after 70% of the race distance, 10 of 14 laps. In 2nd, I put Jackie Stewart. Steady, fast, consistent, lucky. All these apply to Jackie. And in 1st, I put Jackie X. Fastest in qualifying, had a poor start, and raced his way back into 1st. It was a good race.
I think I was going to challenge the lucky thing on Stewart. He did come 2nd. He was beaten.
And he took
second.
the place back. Like he did overtake X to take the place back.
This is more than one race worth of
Okay, you're talking about
overall this season.
Generally.
The feeling you have.
I do want to say, though, that we're not taking anything away from his, as you say, Richard, steady, fast, consistent type of skill set either. But you do need some luck. But I think, as we say in the podcast, you kind of make your own luck. And he does that. He's steady, fast and consistent. So he probably knows how to drive that car, so he's not putting it in at any risk mechanically. And, yeah, other people perhaps are overdriving it. I don't know. But... yeah, I don't want people to think, oh, you guys are just, not recognizing Stewart's skill. We are.
And I'm a big Stewart fan, but I mean, this wouldn't be his. I mean, we know from the race review he's winning the championship, but this wouldn't be his greatest championship of his 3.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops! Did I say something?
Just spoiled the next 5 years, but sure.
Well, yeah, but people know that no. Yeah, there shouldn't be any people shouldn't be crying in their pillows at night. So in 3rd place, equal 3rd, and what is it called? The inferior 3rd. I've got, I shouldn't have used that word because it's not good what I'm about to say, is Mitter, who gave his life in an F2 car. He was an actual F1 racer, but he died in the F2 car over that weekend. So we just want to acknowledge him and his sacrifice. In the superior 3rd place, I had Bruce McLaren in 3rd because he came 3rd in his own car in a race of attrition. And I really was struggling to pick up anyone else
in his own
3rd.
car.
So he sort of
been like that for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I know, but
it's nothing new.
I just tipping my hat
Talk
to the
about
guy.
scraping the bottom of the barrel there.
Yeah. Hey, Richard called Stewart lucky a second ago, and then we questioned him. He said, "Oh, it's the season."
You can go back to the last
talk about
5
it in a bigger
years.
way. Yeah, and do a 5-year spoiler as well. I can do it all.
Forward 5 years.
So I've got Stewart in second for just a solid second place. He was outclassed on the day by X, and X just a outright number one. Pole position, a bad start, and in fact, not quite a nonsense start. First to fourth. Oh, no, it was he did go back to 10th or something.
I thought he went back to 9th.
He did go back a bit. Yeah. So it is a nonsense start. Yeah, and he recovered to fourth by the end of the first lap. So he did a great recovery. Took the win. And again, like I said in the other race, when it was a different driver, I think, he was fighting an informed Stewart for most of the race. And
at a track where Stewart always performs at this track. Like, it's one of his favourites.
Yeah, so very impressive.
I don't think it was one of his favourites,
so, yes.
But he did well here. Like, I don't think he liked it because it was very dangerous.
It was a very dangerous track.
But he always did well here. A bit like Clark at Spa. Spa hated that. He hated that track, but he always did well there.
Yeah, he kept winning it.
Okay, well, I have given Rent my third place. I've said bad luck again with that Lotus. Would have won or podium at least, I think. He got pole position. So, yeah. Stewart second. Good fight with X. But I did think X was just the racer of the day. Great competitive racing, the recovery, and he has a cool racing name. I can't go past X.
It's like that moustache.
It is.
Yeah, it is a good name.
I nearly put one of the F2 drivers in my third spot because he came fifth on the track.
That's pretty good.
Oh, was that Pescarolo? He won the F2 race. But I don't know where he finished on the track, though. I assume he would have been the highest ranked one, of course.
Yes.
Let's just go with that. Okay, so we'll go to the cumulative scores. So we've got Stewart still dominating. I don't think much is going to change there on 121. Rint is second on 55 points, so still way behind. X is now third on 44. And Hill is fourth on 40. So the one thing about TP Championship is we try to right the wrongs of what happened in reality. But even with the luck that we're repeatedly accusing Stewart of, we're still giving him monstrous points. So it's like we're criticizing, but also recognizing. Yeah, so it's a funny situation we're in. And we're sort of forced into it. We've got no choice.
So much good luck for Stewart. It's more bad luck or misfortune for the other drivers.
Yeah, everyone else. Yeah, true. Okay, over to the next race, Rosa.
Italy, Monza. One of the best ones on the grid. And this is this is actually a bit of a longer summary. So buckle up. Hicks had climbed up to second place in the standings at this stage, but was looking at such a distance to Stewart that the championship would be decided at this Italian Grand Prix if Stewart managed to win the race. So during qualifying, he did not manage more than third behind Rint and Holm, but overtook Holm at the start and Rint later in the first lap. Hicks had to pit when his oil pressure dropped. The three at the front traded places a couple of times with a group of 5 drivers behind them joining in the slipstream battle. Hill had started in 9th but was charging Stewart for the lead near the end of the race until his drive shaft broke with 4 laps to go. After at least 14 lead changes, we always see these huge numbers here at Monza, and even a lot more in the remaining points-paying positions, it was Stewart's teammate Bourtois who made a do-or-die move into the last corner of the race. He went too fast and ran wide, but hindered Rint while doing so, which was just as good a result. The top 4 finished within 0.19 seconds of each other, and Stewart was given the win. I think that means he won. Ahead of Rint, Bourtois and McLaren, X had retired 3 laps from the end when he ran out of fuel.
Yeah, it was a pretty awesome race this one.
Yes,
and the footage on YouTube was pretty cool too. Even though most of it's not in English, you get to watch some of the footage.
An English
which is pretty
guy commentating on this race. Oh, I think it was Murray.
I think it was Murray Walker.
Luigi.
Yeah.
Yes.
He must have been like a teenager or something.
Like Murray Walker.
I think it was, but like, yeah, that's the first time I've heard Murray Walker
he commentated. He commentated all the way through to the 90s, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know if he got
Did he get to the 2000s? Maybe.
But that's at least 30 years. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. What a career.
Sorry. Okay. Over to you, Rich.
In third, make sure I'm looking at the right race here. Jochen Rindt finished second in one of the closest 1-2 GP finishes and the closest ever top 4 in history. In second, I put Jackie Stewart. He finished first and held his cool under pressure. And in first, I put Jean-Pierre Beltois. I reckon he deserved top points for the brave but ultimately unsuccessful dive bomb to take the lead in the ultimate corner of the race.
I don't know that it was a dive bomb. If you watch it on that footage, it wasn't.
Give me a break. I'm building it up.
Think Luigi? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a dive bomb as we think of it today, but it was still a dramatic move because it was a last corner attempt at trying to snag the position, which he didn't. It didn't seem like the race review said he ran wide. But it didn't look like he ran wide. No. So but he was obviously compromised because he was on the inside line and maybe he couldn't. You know, when you go on the outside, you can take more speed. He was probably having to take less speed in that costing, but he was trying to go for position on the pedal and whatnot. So,
I was just going to say. Sorry, Richard.
Had to be a little bit later, putting the pedal down to accelerate. And just for the record, Murray Walker commentated for the BBC between 76 and 96 and ITV between 97 and 2001.
Who did he hear?
So who did we hear in 69?
That was 100% Murray
That was Murray Walker. I'm 90%
listen to it later, Rich. But I was going to say, I actually like Richard's top pick. I like the fact that we do, recognise the competitive spirit and his desire to beat his teammate.
Yeah, and that's where the interesting thing is here because I'll do my picks and then tell you some comments that I thought about when I was watching the footage. But I had Rindt in third. He came second and got pole position, and great drive in the slipstreaming battle to be right up there because he obviously finished second. I put Beltois in second because while I know he finished third, he did that
deep dive.
What was allegedly called a deep dive to try to take the win. He didn't run wide, but he fell back. And so I wanted to promote him for trying. And Stewart, I gave him the win for winning that slipstreaming battle. I don't think this was not a luck game at all. He played it smart. It was tough to be in that position to try to win that race. And a couple of things that I got from the video footage was I'm pretty sure that the Beltois and Stewart were in the same team, of course. Beltois' car, if you look at the footage, he's got these front wings and these rear wings, and his car looks like a more advanced Formula One car. Stewart's didn't have much in the way of wings at all. And so they look like different teams. So I'm pretty sure I saw it right. I may have not, but I'm pretty sure Stewart had a very different. So they were driving very different cars for the same team, and it was really cool that what Stewart said afterwards in an interview that after the race the crowd went ballistic because obviously they were been watching with excitement, and when he was driving into the pits he did this really cool pointing forward, like really letting everyone know he won the race. So he was obviously pumped, but the crowd went fanatical. And Stewart and the other drivers on the podium had to run into the toilets and lock themselves in. And the Tifosi just were crazy, banging on the toilet doors and everything. So it was like, they were happy. Like I think they were just like, wow, we just saw a great race and this and that.
Even for a non-Italian
it was just a funny little story.
In a non-Italian car. Yeah. We have to remember that French Ferrari car came last.
For Ferrari.
I'm surprised there wasn't like a riot.
Was that at Monza, from what I read, a lot of drivers had cut their wings off, so they had less downforce because it's just such a fast track.
Downforce, yep.
He maybe had a little bit of downforce.
Except he did, yes.
Except Beltoise did. Yeah. Yeah. So what about your picks, Rosa?
Well,
let's not forget yours.
I've gone down a different track. I've shared my 1, 2, and 3 equally between 6 drivers for different reasons. So everyone got
You've broken your own rule. You just told me off at the beginning.
No, I haven't.
And you've just done it. You've done it to an even greater level.
And they've all got 3 points. So I'll start from the bottom.
Let's hear it.
I gave X 3 points because he had fuel issues with 3 laps to go. And if he was still in that slipstreaming battle, he could have finished anywhere in the top 6. Hill, bad luck ending his race with 4 laps to go. Again, he was challenging Stewart for the lead when that happened. Given 3 points to McLaren for just being in the slipstream group and helping to make my points add up.
That's like his whole career.
I've given Beltoise 3 points for a good strong move, trying for the win in that final lap. Rindt for the close finish, and Stewart he knew what he was doing. He won the championship here with 3 races to go, and he knew what to do to win that race. So I think that's fitting, given, as Richard said, this is the closest finish ever of the top 4, and I've just put in a couple of extras in there, just recognising, that this TP rights some wrongs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough. And Hill was a bit unlucky.
He didn't want to go 4.5 points.
He was in that slipstreaming group.
So
he was in there.
No, I kept it to whole numbers just for my sanity. Yes.
Yeah, spreadsheets don't work with decimals, you know that. So the cumulative results are Stewart's leading with 138 points. Rindt is now strongly in second with 66. X is third with 47. And Hill is fourth with 43. It's been a long time since he got points. Remember, he was on 40 for a long time. And Beltoise is up there with 36 now in fifth. So, and Eamon, who we talked about a lot at the start, is just disappeared. He's now in sixth.
Right, race 9. We're in Canada.
It's up to the next race.
X managed to qualify in pole position. It was Rindt, however, that took the lead into the first corner before Stewart snatched it on lap 6. Behind the leaders, Jean-Pierre Beltoise collided with local driver Al Peace, who was already being lapped before a quarter of the distance of the race was run. After this, the Canadian was disqualified for driving too slowly, the only time that has ever happened. On lap 33, X overtook Stewart, but their wheels touched and they both spun. Stewart landed in a ditch and stalled his engine, but X could continue to take a suddenly easy victory. Brabham finished second, his first podium of the year, ahead of Rindt in third.
I can't get this name.
Richard.
Yeah, Johnny Servois Gavin. I think.
Johnny.
He finished 6 from 14
Servois Gavin.
in a 4-wheel drive car. Unbelievable. However, it doesn't sound as impressive when you also mention that behind him was only one car that finished with 13 that didn't.
Not another one of your...
come on.
I've given them points.
I don't know whether anyone else got so high with a 4-wheel drive car.
I think that... No, I think that's the only time a 4-wheel drive car has ever won points in a Grand Prix.
They got points.
That's the only time.
Would make them work better.
Yeah, they did. Okay.
But
there you go. Yeah, okay.
No, apparently the power to weight ratio is all off. There's too much weight in the car with the extra 4-wheel drive stuff that you've got to have. And the actual power doesn't get to all 4 wheels away as 2 wheels.
Technical.
Thank you. I'm now the technical director.
In second, I've got Jochen Rindt. He finished third in the Lotus.
Yeah.
Exclamation mark. Other reliability issues solved. And apologies to Sir Jack and Sir Jackie, who both could have filled this spot. And in first, I put Jackie X. It's a first to first with some racing in between. It wasn't just driving. He actually had to beat some other drivers rather than just toddle off into the distance, have a nice easy Sunday drive, a fast Sunday drive. He was made to earn it by Stewart, who was unfortunate for maybe the second race this year. So he's had bad luck, and he's had good luck.
Okay. I'm surprised you put Rint in second, though, because Brabham did finish second. Like, why did you skip over
I apologise.
Jack Brabham? He's had a bit of a quiet year. And you've just said...
Unlike you guys, I didn't split any of my places.
Oh, so that's how you get out of it.
I didn't feel that was the right thing to do. I think for my last race, I might change my points and give Sir Jack 17 and maybe...
Luigi has been known to put one driver in all three spots of his. I reckon you've done it once.
Not all three. Two, I think.
I reckon you've put
two.
Clark in three.
Maybe. I can't recall three, but two I've done. Maybe when he deserved it, though. So anyway, my top three is I've got Brabham in third because I felt he was the last man standing to get second place. And it was a Brabham 1-2. So it's been a long time since that's happened. I want to say a long time, 67 probably. I'm sure there was a 1-2 or one or two 1-2s in that season. I put Stewart in second, even though he got knocked out by that incident with X. And I think at the very least he should have come second, if not won the race, because they were having a good old battle between X and Stewart. But I couldn't go past X for the win. Just a strong race win. And they didn't really explain whose fault it was between the two of them who touched. And my ethical position. As soon as I find out who's at fault, they get punished.
I trawled through the internet trying to find vision of it. There's none. No, there's no reference.
Oh, you couldn't find. So you no reference. Yeah. So
does it have to be
British
fault?
bias, which means it probably was Stewart's fault then.
Racing incident.
Because if it was X's fault, I'm sure Mike Lang would have said something about it.
It was just a racing incident. Yes.
Vilify the villain.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it could have been just a racing incident, but I like to look for the villain.
That it? You done? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I've actually given my third place
Rosa.
to Pease for making it
Yeah.
into the record books. Someone had to do it, and I'm going for the cheap win there. I've given Jack Brabham my second spot with 6 points. I thought that was a really good drive. He actually made an amazing pass on the last lap to snag second. Yeah, he was behind the whole way, and then he made this pass under braking. So I thought that called out the second spot for me. And I actually shared number one spot between Stewart and X, equally 4 points each. I've said good battle for first and unlucky for Stewart.
Oh, okay.
Does that mean the people
and lucky for
you
X.
put in first got less points than the person you put in second?
That could have gone either way. Yes, Richard. That's how maths works. Works.
Yeah, we've seen this before.
Yes. I did.
Yeah, and I mean, technically, I've seen people when they do this, they go, they take the first two
combined,
the 8 and the 6 combined and share it. Yeah, whereas we don't do it that way, and we do it this way,
yes,
which is
essentially,
which means Jack Brabham's the number one driver, essentially. Yeah. And Peace got the same points as Stewart.
That's probably the bit that makes me most uncomfortable about that. But I'm happy with Brabham getting number 1 points.
Okay. Well, it's interesting because now we've got the cumulative results. Stewart's leading with 148. Rint is second with 72, but X is right with him on 67, so not much between those two. Then Hill in fourth with 43 points. And I just wanted to point out that Peace is in 16th with 4 points, but he's ahead of the full face helmet. He's ahead of Ford Cosworth. He's even ahead of Holm and BRM. And so that's what you've done. You've put him ahead of Ford Cosworth and Holm.
Okay.
and a whole
I need
team.
to take a good hard look at myself later.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what else happens.
Okay.
We'll see where
Race
Peace ends
10,
up the season.
USA, 2 laps. 2 races to go. So we're at the USA. Rint takes his 5th pole position of the year ahead of Holm and Stewart. X started down in 8th after a hair-raising spin off the track in practice. After the start, Rint and Stewart left the field behind, and Stewart took the lead on lap 12 when Rint made a slight error. Rint kept pressing, however, and was back in front on lap 21, the two already running half a lap ahead of the competition. On lap 36, Stewart's engine suffered an oil leak and he had to retire, leaving Rint to take, after 7 career podiums, his first victory. Hill suffered a flat tyre and spun off. His car hit the banks and turning over, violently throwing him out of the car. Hill broke both his legs. X had also retired, so there was room for some other names on the podium. Piers Courage was second in the Brabham run by Frank Williams Racing Cars, and Surtees was third for BRM.
I put Jackie Stewart. And here we go. Strangely, the hard luck story of the race. He may have continued his dominance if the car had held together. And in second, I put Piers Courage. He beat out the other Brabham drivers for second. And in first, I put Jochen Rindt. And Jochen Rindt's luck has turned. And his quote was, "It is just that the car held together for once. But this one makes up for all the others I have lost." I'm sure it felt like it on the day.
I disagree with him. It doesn't make up for it. He deserved more than on the day, but he deserved more than this.
Yeah, good. Yep.
Yeah, good picks. Yeah, and I'm looking at the picture of Rindt on the podium holding the trophy, and Courage looks so happy. He's so happy to be there. He knows this is an awesome year in this privateer team. So I've got equal to two people in third. I've got BRM in third for coming back and getting a podium despite an awful season.
Yes.
And this time they're getting a point for turning up versus not turning up. So congratulations. And Courage I've got in third place for coming second. And basically, wow, that's pretty impressive, just like he did at Monaco as well. So great points haul. I've got Rindt in second for the race wins he should have had earlier this year but didn't get. And then I've got Rindt in first for his first F1 win. And it just seems unbelievable considering how many rivalries and battles he's had with Stewart all season. And he had 5 pole positions, and that this is his first win. It just almost seems
14
ridiculous.
points. See, I told you.
That's why he gets
hard.
double points. Yeah. It's rare, but it's deserved, right? He's been so unlucky. Look, Richard gives you a quote. I give you the points.
Up until this up until this race, so this is the 10th race. He has retired in 5 of them. Yes, mostly. Yeah, exactly.
And mostly in the lead. Or there, or in second maybe, and we know second place is normally the lead as well. So yeah,
BRM. You gave BRM. I guess they came in third. Okay.
Yeah, they got points, big points actually for them. Yeah, more than Ferrari points.
There was a rule for this season. We weren't going to mention.
That's for the race. That was race review,
so
not this.
I gave my third spot to Courage. Again, great result. I thought a bit lucky, but they're great result for that team. I shared second spot between X and Brabham, and I've just said bad luck ended their podium chance. And first spot I gave to Rindt, 5th pole, first win by 40 seconds after a great battle. I think if you listen to the race review, he actually had to battle X there for a while before X had to retire. So, yeah, that's what I did.
I'm not trying to make friends.
No.
Okay, no acknowledgement for BRM for both of you.
We're not trying to suck up
to acknowledge it.
Yeah, we're not trying to suck up to their fans.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Their Facebook group, yeah. Okay, so we've got Stewart leading on 152. Rint's catching up. When I say catching up, there's no chance, but he's on 100. He's on 102. He's like 50 points behind.
We could.
I guess if we all gave him 18 in the last round, we could make him win it. But we don't coordinate any of this. We do these privately. So, yeah. X is now in a distant third with 70 points and Hill on 43.
They've scored in more races.
Yeah, and Peace is still in 16th and on 4 points, and BRM's on 3 points. So can BRM overhaul Peace is the question. Yeah, they have. Yeah, but they got 1 point for not turning up. Really, Peace should have them.
Okay, last race of the season, race 11. We're in Mexico.
Okay.
Brabham claimed pole with a new lap record. X and Stewart started beside him on the front row, and it was Stewart who took the lead before X took it on lap 2. Stewart then fell back a bit, with fourth starting Holm rising to this challenge. On lap 10, Holm passed X for the lead and sailed away. X made 2 attempts later in the race but was unable to pass Holm.
Okay.
2.5 seconds behind him.
My voice is going a little bit here.
Third, Stewart fourth.
It must be the emotion. I've put Jack Brabham in third. Sir John Arthur Brabham, an Australian legend who seems to have had a tough year given how little I have been able to mention him. He finished the race third and he earned these points. Second, I've got Jackie X. Qualified second, finished second, could well have won the championship with a little more luck. Fought for first in this race. It's a big call. Yeah, maybe so. I could be getting confused between the two.
I don't know that he could have won the championship.
Give me a break.
Oh.
And then first, this is where all the emotion comes from.
Yeah, I don't think so. That applies to Rint. Not
Denny has been out of contention all year, and I've been wanting to give his name a call. So very happy to be able to include him legitimately for this race. I would have included him in the points this race anyways. And some good racing with X. Came from fourth to win. So yes, so proud. Old Uncle Denny now.
Right. Very heartfelt. Very good. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and he really deserved it.
We're claiming him.
Yeah.
I have, Luigi. Yes, I have.
So you've probably read this, Rosa, haven't you?
I know.
We've got it. No. This is a first, isn't it? I don't think this has ever happened before. It took a long time for this to happen, but here it is. So the third, I had Brabham in one of his last races and getting on the podium.
Okay.
I'll do my first place and I'll leave second for surprise. First place, I've got Holm for just a strong drive in an uneventful race and not as emotional as Richard. But he did earn the win by charging through the leading pairs of Brabham. So the Brabhams were on the front row, and he just went through, took the win, and amazing result. And that McLaren was getting slowly better and better as the year went on, and great for Holm to finish off the season on a high. And my special second place goes to Rosa. So Rosa wrote the race review script. And I some things I know, some things I don't know. So as I was reading the script, she kept repeatedly saying
there were rumors.
This was Jack Brabham's last F1 race, and it wasn't. No, but then you started saying it was in a certain way. So I had to repeatedly correct her notes. So this is your punishment, Rosa. Embarrassment in front of all the listeners and your husband.
No, Yes, I know that.
It was not Jack Brabham's last race.
Look, and funnily enough, I don't.
What a positive note.
I don't know, but I'm really not embarrassed.
I think you're ahead of Peas.
I don't get embarrassed in front of Richard about anything. But I'm
Ford Cosworth.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you've just jumped
point.
Peas.
I'm very proud that I've gotten 6 points. I'm the first one of our podcast to earn points in this thing. It took not a shining moment.
It took this moment for that to happen.
It's not like one that you've talked about how proud you are of me. But I'll take it. Okay, my top three is I have Brabham.
Okay,
in
so what's your top three for this final
Fairy Tale podium
race?
With Holm and good finish amid rumours of retiring. I wrote these before I read, because you hide yours. We do it in the same spreadsheet. So you hide your rows. So I didn't see it until I had to unhide it to do the adding up. So that was quite funny when I read that.
I wonder if in future we hide the column of the comments.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So you don't see the comments until it's live.
Yes. Yeah, you've been very sneaky.
Yeah, interesting ways. We can do more.
In the actual race review, you put in a piece for me to read as well. Yeah, in the black text, which I couldn't find.
In the black text, yeah.
Very sneaky. Okay, in second spot I had X, just great racing. I've said he's a very good racing car driver. I think that's a really good way of putting it, Richard. And then I've put Holm in fourth to first, with a good defensive fight in there with X, who's possibly the most aggressive driver on the grid, I would say, in this year. Yeah. So it was a good fight by Holm.
So far,
if you listen to the podcast, it goes on for quite a few laps.
Uncle Denny.
So yeah, good holding on there for Holm to finish on the podium, on the top of the podium, top step of the podium, exactly.
Okay, so here's the final cumulative results. We've got Stewart winning on 152.
No, they
didn't get any points. Exactly the same as the last one. Did they get any? No, I don't think they did. No, they didn't. There you go. So Rint was second on 102, and X goes up to third. He was third. He's on 82. Hill holds on to fourth with 43. So let's just see who Rosa beat with her 6 points. She defeated the £100 prize.
Yes.
Jackie Oliver, Servos Gavin, Peace, most importantly.
All right.
BRM, the full face helmet, Ford Cosworth, and Mitter.
There you go.
So congratulations, Rosa. And only 1 point behind the CSI.
I just have this kind of suspicion.
2 point and only 2 points behind Andretti.
Championships are going to go down.
You could have had Mario Andretti.
A lot more bagging of each other and.
Yeah. Okay. So how did that
scoring?
No, that did. And Richard, you haven't listened to many.
It's got to be
then.
authentic.
It's been like
that
this
came
right
from the heart.
beginning. No, this is the first time points have happened.
Yeah.
But yes,
it's just points haven't necessarily been given.
All right. So it's in the actual Drivers' Championship of the day that happened at the time, Jackie Stewart was first with 63, and Jackie X was second with 37. So that's sort of like us, isn't it? Like, isn't that similar kind? Okay.
We had Rint second.
In this one, Rint was
didn't
fourth
finish
with 22, and
points.
McLaren was third with 26. Eepers with only 10 points.
Oh, and where did we have McLaren? We had him in 11th. Yeah, like he got more points in the real Formula One, and we give away a lot more than real Formula One. So why didn't we rate McLaren?
Denny Holm was
we hammered him down
on the real one. Yep. So
some Australian bias.
Yeah, we'd have 8th,
10th.
And where was Brabham? Because we had him in 7th place.
He did. Yep.
So he outperformed in our opinion.
A little bit of a Courage, and this one was 8th, and we had him 9th. So that was similar. Yeah.
And Eamon in the Ferrari, we had him in 6th, so he was up there.
He's not even.
I suspect he's a lot lower than 6th.
Hang on, I think. There he goes. He's 12th. He's 12th on 4 points.
No, he does at the beginning of the year.
One race.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
One race.
Well, that was fun, and
yeah,
it was good. I think it was the right result. I think.
Yeah, I think so. There was only one way it could go because of the lack of reliability of everyone else. But Stewart
20 years from
nailed
now.
it. So, congratulations to him, and we wish him all the best for the future.
Yeah, thanks, Rich. Hope you had fun.
Yeah,
that could be several episodes worth.
Start researching now. Get ready for the onslaught of Luigi. Yeah. One race is going to take like a whole hour, I think. All right. See you, everyone.
Yeah,
bye.
I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye.
We have a Patreon.
Yay, we're a professional podcast now. So it means a lot to us if you are able to support the F1 Time Portal podcast.
For a small monthly fee, you not only get ad-free podcast content, you will also receive special episodes that are exclusively uploaded for our Patreon financial supporters.
We promise at least 2 additional exclusive episodes each month aligned to the decade we are up to in the show.
And you will also be able to make suggestions about any special episodes you may want us to research and present. We can't promise that we can do all of them, but we will consider them.
So, if that sounds like an entertainment bargain to you, go and sign up at patreon.com/F1 Time Portal today.
If you're enjoying our podcast, please tell your friends and non-F1 friends alike.
Yeah, and don't forget to rate us 5 stars or whatever highest is available on the podcast platform that you use.
We have a range of social media handles for you to connect with fellow listeners, so look up F1 Time Portal on all the usual platforms.
Or visit us at www.f1timeportal.com or email us at f1timeportal@gmail.com.
We would like to give credit to our primary reference materials, a series of books called Grand Prix by Mike Lang.
We also use many other written and digital references, which are in our show notes.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you.